Dawson Rider with you.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here. Welcome to my review for the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Lightning Collection MMPR Red Helmet. Our second helmet in the Lightning line after the first one, which was MMPR White. And this is the first one we've gotten where there's actually a legacy counterpart, since they didn't do one for White. I will be doing a comparison on that at the end. But let's talk about this on its own. I think overall it's pretty solid. From the pictures, it always looked like it had this weird, almost too puffy, stoutish look to it. And the camera right now, is making it look like that more. If you back up a little bit, it looks a little more normal, and to my eye with this angle, it looks a little more normal, whereas I feel the camera is making it seem a little bit puffier than it is. But it actually does look a lot better than the picture. Not that the picture looked awful, just I felt the picture looked off, and I wanted to talk about that. And as you can see, it's got a really nice glossy finish. And when comparing that to the Legacy one, which we will, it has a matte finish, and this glossy one looks a little bit nicer and a little bit cooler. They have the nice white paint here, which seems to be a problem for a lot of the MMPR Red figures, which never include it. The teeth here look really cool. They almost look more pronounced than I remember them being, but they look really nice. The black plastic here looks nice too. The little details in there, I think it all goes off of each other very well. The nice silver here seems a little bit dark compared to some of the other ones, but it kind of just depends. But I think overall, just color-wise, it looks good, it stands out nice, it looks good on display. The proportions are a little bit stouty, it looks a little bit puffy, like I said, but it looks better in person. I don't know why I can't get the right angle on it to make it look a little that looks a little bit more accurate to what it is. And I wouldn't say the proportions are perfect, and I'll talk more about that when we get both of them in here, but it's better than I thought, and especially for the price. And it is a little bit smaller than the Legacy one. You do get this stand here, which refuses to let go of it. There we go. And the stand is really easy to put together. You just get this base, which has kind of a cheapo Mighty Morphin sticker, and that's one of the things I kind of liked better about the Legacy one. But you have the base, and then these two cones here, and then you just snap this on top. It's really intuitive just how to put it together, and then obviously you put that on top of there. But here's the helmet on its own without the stand, and it actually looks a little bit more in proportion when it's not on the stand. So you can sort of see that the proportions are more accurate than I thought they would be. Not perfect, but they look pretty darn close, honestly. And as far as taking it on and off, it's pretty simple. You do have the faux clips here, so it looks like it did in the show, but it's attached by magnets, so when you open it up, you have this here, and then this adjuster here, you just twist this to adjust for a smaller or larger head. It's pretty easy. I really like that system, and I like the way the magnet works. I think that I had a little bit issues with it with White's closing, and this one you can still have some issues getting it exactly closed if you have a bigger head and some finagling, but for the most part, I like how satisfying this feels, and it's kind of streamlined, and it's a lot easier than some of the other ones I have, even some other non-PR ones. I have a Kylo Ren helmet that every now and then when I'm putting it away, I'll be like, okay, I have to get this lined up, and then this side isn't lined up, but this one snaps together very easy. I really like this strap system. It's super simple and easy to adjust for your different head sizes. Some other ones in the past are really annoying, or the little mechanism would fall out and I was constantly putting it back in. So I appreciate that it stays in there, it's secure, and it's easy to work with. But let's go ahead and take a quick look at how this looks on me, just to give you an idea of what it looks like on a person. So here I have it on. As you can see, can't contain this beard. So if you have a long beard, just be prepared to have the lumberjack version, but it fits on nicely setting aside the beard. I don't have to take my glasses off sometimes, but not all the time. And this one does fit a little more securely and was easier to snap in place than the white one. It can be a little bit hard to breathe, but overall, setting this aside, I think it looks pretty nice like this. But let's go ahead and compare it to the Lightning and Legacy versions. Okay, so now we have them both side by side, and this is the Lightning and this is the Legacy, if you couldn't tell. And if you can already tell, the Lightning one, or the Legacy one, excuse me, is a lot bigger. Well, not a lot bigger, but it's definitely noticeably bigger. You can tell the matte finish here versus the glossy finish. The details on here are a little more prominent. If you can't see, there's these little vents here on the side that are very noticeable from certain angles on this one. The sort of mouthpiece is a little bit lighter on this one here. And I think this is actually a little bit more accurate. This is a little bit too dark. I think this silver color is a little bit more accurate to it. And you can see the stands are different. The way you put them together is different, but I actually like these a little bit better. I think they looked a little bit more professional. It says Mighty Morphin Red Ranger. This looks kind of cheap, and I like that this not only differentiates, but looks a little bit cooler. This one, though, you can see has a little bit more of an elongated look to it. It's got kind of more of a point here, whereas this one is a little bit more accurate to the round shape of the Tyrannosaurus helmet, and you can sort of tell that from this angle, too. But honestly, I don't think the Lightning one is that bad. I think there's some clear improvements here, like I like the mechanism better, the shininess looks better, the proportions are a little bit better, but then this one has the more accurate mouth, and I like that this one you can't see the little vents or anything like that, and this one definitely has that pointy look. So both of them I think have their pros and cons, and they'll look better from different angles. Like for example, this one, the way I have it displayed now, in order to save room, I have it kind of at this angle, and the way it looks on the shelf at this angle and from above, it looks really good. But when I'm looking at it head on compared to this one looks more accurate. But sometimes, if I'm looking at this one a certain way head on, it looks a little inaccurate. So I think that both of them have their pros and cons. Neither are perfect in terms of the overall look. It depends on the angle you're looking at. I think I want to say outside of the mouth color, this one is a little bit more overall accurate, just in terms of the proportions and stuff and the colors looking better on the red and stuff like that. And this one definitely has some things that make it look a little bit worse. But I just wanted to say that, like, if you have the Lightning one, or the Legacy one, excuse me, and you're happy with it, I think you'd be okay sticking with it, because they're nice and cheap compared to like really expensive prop helmets, but they aren't like $8 or anything. And I don't think that unless you're a huge MMPR Red Jason fan, that it's really worth buying two of them, unless, like I said, you're a completist or a huge enthusiast and you already have this one. I think you'll be happy with it, or at least until maybe this goes on sale. Maybe wait for this to go on sale. I don't think it's a rush out immediately and buy yourself a replacement one. I think it's a, if you're not too uptight about it, you'll be happy with it, or wait for a good price on this situation to upgrade yourself if you want it, because I do think this one has its merits. It's not exactly perfect, but like I said, it's not really that much of a, oh my god, this is an immediate upgrade, you need to have this in your life right now situation. But I have to say, for either of them, in particular this one, even though I just mentioned how it's not worth spending double the money right away, I think they're both nice for a, you know, bigger priced or a smaller priced helmet. Like if you're trying to put together a cheaper cosplay, or if you're like me and have always just wanted Power Rangers helmets on display, it is a nice, more cost-effective option for those of you that don't want to spend money on a prop helmet. I think this one looks really good. This one's also obviously more easily available since they're currently making it. So as far as just setting aside the comparison, if you don't have an MMPR Red helmet and you like one, this isn't perfect, but I can recommend it. It's not an overly expensive way to get yourself an MMPR Red helmet. But that's about it for this one, guys. Until next time, like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you get notifications for my videos. Dawson Rider, signing out.